Hello, everybody. Welcome to Browns and Beyond, your home for Cleveland Browns content, NFL content, and other sports content. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay locked in with the latest sports content. And most importantly, drop us a comment. We want to hear your thoughts. All right, boys, how we doing today? We got a good show ready to go. Check us out on social media, of course, facebook.com/Browns&Beyond show. I think we just had some polls, top 5 broadcasters. And, I told you, my boy, Mr. Olson and Davis, I think they're top getters last I checked on that, Steve.
I think it was Tony Romo.
Oh, was it? Steve, you know what I heard? A little birdie told me that you like logged in with 5 burner accounts like Kevin Durant to get the polls.
I guess
Is that true?
I guess they said if Tony Romo and Nance win that poll on Browns and Beyond,
yes,
that he won't be suspended. And
oh, wow.
right back.
Oh, my God.
I'd be ready for
wow.
start.
Anyways, you guys check us out on social media, also on YouTube. Subscribe. And Dave, how you doing, buddy? How's your weekend going?
Doing well. Enjoyed the Browns. Well, I won't say I enjoyed the Browns game the other day. I know we're going to get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But it was good. It's still good to see football. I know we've got a quarterback situation to talk about, don't we, Brent?
Oh, we sure do. And we will get right into it. The first topic is the Browns versus the Buffalo Bills, preseason game number 2. Unfortunately, boys, the Buffalo Bills were the winner of this one. I think it was 31-7. And we start with, Shedeur Sanders. He was the starting quarterback in the first half. And in the second half, we Mr. Watson and I believe some other cleanup duties as well. So we will get right into it. Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, is this going to be a Shedeur cast? When Steve Retzer talks, it's a lot of bias toward Mr. Shedeur Sanders.
As it should be.
Wow.
Brett. Shedeur got the start. Was it nice or what? Yeah, the Browns played their first preseason game of the year at home and lost to the Bills 31-7. Ouch. They've scored 17 points in their first 2 preseason games while giving up 65 points, guys. Not exactly lighting the room on fire, guys.
Nope.
I was excited to see the newly installed Todd Monken offense, and some plays have looked good, but the complete final results have not. We've now lost to the Bears, Bills, and we finalized the preseason at home Thursday with the Patriots. That's a rough preseason schedule for a first-year head coach and a quarterback competition between a vet who's been out for 2 years and a guy only going into his second season. Who made this schedule for them? It's like...
Right.
I know.
No, I know.
Oh, they could have put one cupcake team like us.
Yeah.
Just so that we have a chance to score. New offense, everything. That would have been nice. The NFL that made the schedule here,
By the way, you take a look at the schedule to start the season. It's rough.
It's rough, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, my guy, Shedeur Sanders, got the start and played pretty good, making a case to stay in the running for starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. The offensive linemen who started in this one were DeJuan Jones. We got to see Jones back after being injured last season.
Please no.
He was at your left tackle.
I got a soft spot for DeJuan. Dave really talks about DeJuan Jones like when we were out at the bar. I'm like, I missed little DeJuan, from a couple years ago.
That's the first time another human being has called him little, Brent.
I know.
Hey, how's he going to lose weight and stay in shape if he's not on the field?
I hear you, Steve. Cardio.
There you go. Kingsley Ekaquan is your left guard yesterday. Luke Whippler, was at the center.
Right.
Me and Dave's boy, KT Levinson, was the right guard. Actually didn't play that terrible in this one.
That's a news flash.
Play great
usually.
Yeah. Austin Barber, the rookie out of Florida, was your right tackle. They actually gave Shedeur nice protection in the pass game in this one, especially for what he had to deal with in the preseason for his line last year, guys. Oh, that was just brutal. Shedeur looked comfortable out there and played the entire first half like Coach Monken said he would. And he finished 9 of 11, 74 yards, 1 touchdown. And I love Shedeur, but of course he threw in that 1 interception as well.
I don't love that, Steve.
I don't love that.
No.
It seems like he just has that. Part of being like a slinger, I guess. Shedeur marched the team down the field, and he threw an 8-yard pass to a wide open Luke Floria. Even the score at 7-7. Buffalo actually scored first in this one.
Steve, aren't you going to sing a little song for us right now?
Please no. Please no.
I know Dave doesn't want to get. I did in the last one. Good enough. Moving on.
Sing solo, Steve. Solo, we can't hear you.
No, I like that.
Did you know that my bathroom mirror broke last week? He was in there.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Hey, just watch yourself. I got appliances here that might break because you're singing. You know? All right. All right, buddy. Good.
Well, guys, on that scoring drive, Shador was 4-4, including the 16-yard pass to tight end Blake Whiteheart on 4th and 2. The old tight end, former coach Kevin Stefanski loved. Now, if guys are injured, I hear Joe Royer was injured.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we haven't seen Royer.
Whiteheart would be your only other tight end that could make some catches.
Yeah, they need another pass catching tight end for sure.
So they might not want to get rid of him. Tight ends are more important than you think. A lot of blocking, but you need the guy to make a catch here and there, not named Harold Fana Jr. Actually, guys, Kyle Allen started the game for the Bills, and for a moment there, we thought it was Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know.
Can't remember the numbers by heart, you know.
Right. I'm like, who they really started Josh Allen?
I know.
I thought it was Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Didn't he kind of have the same kind of build?
A little bit.
But yeah, you can. But
Like he did.
I think Josh Allen's a little bit bigger. But
Yeah. So it's kind of like, who remembers Kyle Allen as the backup for the great Josh Allen? I forgot that, I'll be honest, guys. Speaking of Kyle Allen, he had an impressive game. He handed the ball off to Ray Davis, who I think is a solid backup, with Cook, or run the ball with Cook, especially on the goal line. He does get touchdown.
Right.
He ran a 1-yard touchdown. That actually made it 7-0 before Shador got that score with Floria. Shador continued efficient short or intermediate passes, keeping command of the huddle and managing the play clock effectively, though subsequent possessions called out against the Bills' defense. On his 4th possession, guys, he was driving the Browns down the field, trying to score, but then here's when the hiccup happened.
Yes.
He threw a pass slightly behind tight end Jermaine Terry as the ball got tipped off his hands, and it was intercepted by, guess who? Safety DeMar Hamlin. But we all know about Hamlin. He did get that interception.
Yeah, I guess for a lot of people, it's good to see DeMar Hamlin back on the field. Of course, that was the famous incident in 2022, in that Monday night game against the Bengals. So, but yeah, that's just an unfortunate decision. This is the concern about Shador. You're going to get these 1 or 2 turnover-worthy plays. You might get more in a game, and that's really my concern, Steve. But your thoughts?
Yeah, Dave. I feel like Shador is more like a gunslinger. I feel like you are going to see games with 1 or 2 interceptions. I'm telling you right now.
Hopefully not more. Yeah.
I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right. Your 1 or 2 is actually okay.
Guys, what I love, though, is he doesn't let himself down or get too upset or beat up, or like how Kevin Stefanski, now let's just throw 5-yard passes. He will keep going at it as if it didn't happen. I like that. I like, that he will do that. So I think it's going to be okay. The good will outweigh the bad, in my opinion. The Bills took a 14-7 lead at halftime. Actually, guys, the game was stalled by a lightning delay for a few hours, as we know.
Yeah,
we were here yesterday.
Yeah, we lost over an hour or so, I think, without.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, about an hour.
Yep.
So the Browns gave up that first touchdown run to Ray Davis, and later gave up a sharp 62-yard 2-minute drill late in the second quarter, surrendering a 9-yard pass from Kyle Allen to McCole Hardman Jr. just before the break. As we know, McCole Hardman Jr. used to be a Kansas City Chief. I think he played for the Jets as well. He caught the touchdown pass from Allen. I thought the Browns had some nice defensive stops and tackles at times, especially from guys like linebackers, backups, Nathaniel Watson and Winston Reed. Nice to see Mike Hall Jr. out there.
Yeah.
Right, Dave?
Yeah, he's going to need to be part of a rotation this year. He hasn't played in more than 9 games so far in his career. You worry about a 31-year-old like Malik Collins coming off of an injury. So, yeah, they're going to need some depth at defensive tackle. I have more concerns about the depth at defensive tackle than I do edge, Steve. So he's going to need to be a contributor this year. It's a big year for him.
Absolutely, Dave. Shador was later interviewed on the sideline after his play, and he admitted that he was named a captain of the game, but he didn't go out on the field for the coin toss. I mean, guys, this just cracked me up. When I was a captain for a game in like middle school or high school, I knew that you.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Hey, listen.
What do you about Black Tiger football here, Fred?
Black Tiger.
The cast time might even go to 2 hours now. A lot of editing going to be needed on this one.
You're supposed to, when you are named team captain,
Yes, sir.
you're supposed to go out on the field. Even if in middle school you do that.
Okay.
Now, if you're like 2 or 3 captains, one guy will call the coin toss. I was never the call the coin toss guy. But if you're a captain, you go out on the field.
You know what that is? That's a little bit of his immaturity.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's his generation, Gen Z. And I feel that, well, it's kind of like, you know, I don't want the responsibility. You know, I'm just here.
I'll throw out one other
Yeah.
nugget. I know we're going to get into this maybe a little bit
Yeah,
later
go
here,
ahead.
Steve. I think it may be showing the signs of a guy that might just be checked out, Brent.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I
Could define that.
well,
That's interesting.
I
What do you mean?
I think Deshaun Watson is just trying to get through this season, and that's it.
Well, Shador, though.
Oh no, no. I'm sorry. I was speaking
Yeah.
more of Deshaun Watson's second half. I know we're going to get into that later. Pardon me.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised about the Shador situation, Steve. I don't know if that will hurt him with some of the fan base. Do you have a thought on?
As far as those comments,
Yeah, as far as those comments.
no, I don't think it will. But it is alarming in a way. That's what I said. Don't forget, guys, he did this already before with
Yeah.
the thing last year. Hold
Shador.
on.
Okay.
Last year he was asked some questions in an interview, and he got weird with the reporter, and he gave some weird face. Remember, he gave a weird face.
Yeah.
He gave some kind of gesture. And again, Gen Z immaturity.
Yes. Okay.
You guys remember that last year? There was some question he was asked, and instead of like answering it, he goes, "Oh, that's what it was." He was acting like a mime, the mime thing.
Exactly.
That's what this falls right into that.
Immature, but
Yeah, he's had his immature moments.
No,
that's
but
a great
I don't.
point
Steve, I don't.
on-
I don't agree with that. It isn't just immature. This is that generation.
yeah.
They do this
Yeah.
some goofy stuff like that. Where my generation that grew up,
wouldn't have done
that was not an option.
and I'll just throw in one last
Yeah.
note, and Steve, you can continue. Is that, you know, especially if you're going to be a leader of a football team and you're going to be the quarterback and players
Yeah.
are going to look to you, Steve, I think that's concerning.
It is. It is a concern, but at this point, I'm more interested in the play on the field because
Well,
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
You like that vote?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, he still has time to grow, and I believe he has, so I think he'll be okay there.
Yeah.
Getting into the second half, Coach Monken told us Deshaun Watson would start the second half and do just that. He had 4 drives, and they didn't exactly go so well. His first drive resulted in a 3-and-out with negative yards as the offense stalled immediately, guys. His second drive was just like the first 3-and-out. I mean, doesn't that sound like that's
it was bad,
football
Steve.
play, guys?
It was
3-and-outs, 3-and-outs.
It was bad. Yeah.
In his third drive, Watson moved the offense 36 yards into opponent territory, but the possession ended with his pass over the middle, which was tipped and intercepted by Corey Couch. I remember the one good part about it was he actually threw it down the field.
Yeah.
Bad part
But it had some zip
was- it
too.
was
That
an
ball had
INT.
some zip.
Yeah.
He actually had zip on that one. I mean, wow.
It looked like the old Watson a little bit there with that zip.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. There's flashes of that,
There
Brent,
is.
but there's no consistency.
And
to that. There's
not
no
now, but at
consistency.
some point here, I
Yeah.
will explain why that was what you just said. Why he was the inconsistency. I'll get into that. Continue, Steve.
So in his last drive, the ball was turned over on downs. He threw a pass to Luke Floria.
Mhm.
And in came Dylan Gabriel at the very end of the game. I'm not real excited about Gabriel. I mean, maybe Vren is, but maybe that's about it. I mean,
Moving on, right? But Gabriel, let's be honest, they might need him now, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
yeah.
That'll be a later.
We're gonna get
Yeah,
to that.
there might be a reason to keep that guy.
We're going to
So,
test drive some Dylan Gabriel thoughts later.
Yeah. Dylan Gabriel's looking pretty good these days.
Well, we go that way.
We'll explain here in a little bit. Go ahead.
All right, guys. So early in the week, Mary Kate Cabot asked Deshaun Watson if he were to get a bad reception by Browns fans, what would his reaction be?
Mm.
He answered by saying, "I don't care. I don't care." Well,
Yeah, that's right. He did say that.
that
He's
is
right.
not exactly what happened.
That's not what happened at all.
That's you know what, though, I think, like I said, I'm sorry, I wanted to say I was speaking about Deshaun Watson earlier. The more and more, I think there's a checked out situation here. I really do with him.
All overall.
Yeah, overall.
Yeah.
I think that there's a guy that's just trying to get through the season.
Yeah, but I don't think it happened until yesterday.
Okay.
I
think
don't-
there was a tipping point. Brent?
Because I think the first preseason game, I remember watching it with you at the bar.
Yeah.
You were there as well.
Yeah.
Did you see how happy he looked at halftime? He looked pretty happy.
Yeah. Okay.
So
He did.
no, I think something happened. Yeah.
It's a facade, Brent. It's a facade.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll get into
I
it.
know it's easy.
I hear you. Yeah,
We're going to talk about it. Yeah.
You think he's been checked out, like, yeah. Keep going, Steve.
Well, guys, Browns fans, in fact, did boo him
Maybe.
this game, and at least 4 to 5 times. Then after the game, interviews were more exciting than the actual game. So if you like drama, you were up for the ride of your life, boys. Well, Watson did care, and he said it's clearly personal and not performance related after getting booed continuously. He said even if he gets the starting job, it'll be like playing 17 away games. Dave, your thought about that?
Yeah, I'm going to continue upon what I just said a minute ago. I think this is a guy that may be just trying to ride out the season and
collect the check.
And I've long since had a thought with Deshaun Watson, and this goes to the point of the original trade. I don't think he ever wanted to be here to begin with. The only reason he was here is Jimmy Haslam backed up the Brinks truck and made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
What did NFL agents say? Give him paid guaranteed money?
Yeah.
You better go there.
He got the Godfather offer from Jimmy. And you know what? It was after he passed. He didn't want to come here to begin with. And that says a lot.
Yeah.
To me, that says a lot about a football player. And, we talked about this before when we did our analysis of the deal at the time. The Browns had a roster that was ready to win at that particular time in the, early, 2021, 2022 time range. And they thought that was that much of an upgrade over Baker Mayfield, which at the time there was a world where that was the truth.
Yeah. He was a number 3 quarterback.
And
at one point.
And we talked about this before the cast, Brent, how much he set this franchise back. I think those fans have every right to boo.
They do. They have every right to boo. And his play, guys,
yes.
If you think about it, I do kind of feel that the beginning of this was not going to Cleveland. I feel like it was the civil suit.
Yeah.
The situation.
Oh, that's all. Yes.
Because here's what I learned from him, and we'll get into this later.
Yeah.
He's a mental fragile guy.
Yeah.
It don't take much. Like, for example, most people that play sports, especially Tom Brady, any competitive athlete, you know what they do? They block things out.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think about other things in life. They focus on the job, the craft. And this guy, it don't take much, and he's rattled. And we'll get into that. Go ahead.
Brent, I think you are right. He is a bit fragile. There's been other players in the NFL that have come back. Example, Michael Vick or something. Some things have happened before, and they still rebounded even after very
That's correct.
situation.
Yeah, Michael Vick could have been really.
Has a hard time.
He was able to resurrect.
Guys,
that's true.
And let's be honest. I was thinking about this because at first I was like, poor Watson to an extent. Like, why are they booing him? But you know what I've learned in life when it comes to sports? Most of these guys that are good, and you want to be an athlete, you got to be able to like Baker Mayfield, he loves negativity.
Yes.
He feeds off that. And guess what? This guy can't. So, no, I don't feel sorry for Deshaun Watson at all. Because you know what athletes do? A good athlete can they can feed that negative energy into positive energy. And he didn't do that. But go ahead.
Me and Brent King don't agree on many things. We just agreed on something right.
Yes, sir. Right there. Don't you agree? Most competitive athletes, Jordan, he loved it.
He fueled on that. And you make a good point on Baker, too?
Yeah.
Good, Steve.
Guys, well, he went on to say that he did charity work in Cleveland and tried his best to return to work after 2 torn Achilles and other injuries, and tried spending time with fans. He actually tried to spend time with some fans on his quest to return to his craft. He thought it was wrong that the fans.
He thought the ship was going to be righted because he did this off-season stuff.
Did this. Yeah.
No, not so fast.
Yeah.
Yep. He also mentioned how the fans booed him in the Browns and Bengals game in 2024 when he was untouched but fell down and tore his Achilles tendon. Guys, I was at this game.
Yeah.
And it happened with like 1 minute in the second quarter. I was at it.
Right.
How bad was it, Steve?
I'm going to tell you. You guys, I can honestly say he wasn't playing that bad in this game. They were only down 7-0. It could have been worse.
That's early.
So he wasn't playing terrible. His performance wasn't bad that day. But the fans did. I mean, they booed him, and it was loud in that stadium. I could tell because I could tell you because I was there.
It sounded like it was. I mean, I remember like I was sitting there doing some computer stuff, watching this game. It sounded like, first of all, there was not many fans yesterday there,
Yeah.
and it still sounded like it was some loud booing.
Well, I think this is a combination of what he's done to this franchise, how much he's set it back, as we've talked about before. Plus, I think you have a lot of Shador fans out there, too, who just want to see their guy as well.
You know, there's that, but I think another thing to be said is they're thinking, wait a second. You know, there really wasn't much room for error. You're going to give up tons of draft capital for this guy. So it doesn't matter if what I'm saying is, of course, they're going to boo. They're mad at the investment.
Last point, so I can kick back to Steve so he can finish up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. Everybody was saying after the debacle against Dallas, that first game of the 24 season, people at that time were saying this might be the worst trade in the history of the NFL. That was
the first year.
And some people even said
he didn't perform well.
And some people said
it's bad. We watched it at my house.
I think the year that he was his best was the second or third year.
Well,
I think it might have been the second was his best. And that still wasn't good.
People clung on to one good second half he had when they came back and beat Baltimore in the 23
I
season.
remember that.
And then he got hurt after that, never came back. And then when we saw how wrecked he was against Dallas to start the 24 season, that's when people were saying maybe this is the worst trade in the history of team sports. Steve,
yeah.
Guys, the fans don't agree with his off-the-field issues to go along with his poor play and often getting injured. Problem is that if he performed and won games, the fans would eventually forgive and slowly forget, I'll just say. I don't think they'd forget all the way, but slowly. Coach Monken was asked about it and said it sucks getting booed. Coach Monken said, play good football, and everyone will be just fine.
By the way, love the answer by Mr. Monken.
Yeah.
I was shocked that he did it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, some other coach I know might coddle Watson. Nope, Monken, he's my guy because he's talking just like straight shooter. No football, forget the coddling, guys. We ain't doing it. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, guys. So I think it's easier said than done, and I wonder if this will pose it as a distraction or even make it hard for Coach Monken. Your guys' thoughts on is this a distraction, guys? The Watson comments, and then will Coach Monken have a hard time with this?
It will be a distraction if he's named the starter. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I tend to agree. If he's a starter, that first home stand, especially if he gets off to a bad start against Jacksonville on the road, they got to come home eventually. He's going to hear a whole lot of boos, Steve.
And I found this out the other day. The schedule is in favor of Deshaun Watson. 6 out of the first 9 games on the road.
Yeah, that may help, but that first home game is going to be rough.
But here's the deal: if you, like Dave said, if he loses the first so many games, I think it's the third game they go home, right?
Right.
Well, guess what? You're gonna get booed 0-2. Oh yeah, it'll be bad.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
Well, guys, I don't blame the fans for disliking Watson. But I'm going to say this because I haven't heard a lot of people say it. I would also boo, if you're Browns fans that do this, I would boo Jimmy Haslam and not the player as much. In my opinion, Jimmy has elected to give Watson a shot still rather than moving on or cutting him.
Well,
I just think he thinks he wants a return on his investment, and he's curious if a coach besides Kevin Stefanski can coach him into his old Houston days in winning and proving people wrong. I will say this, guys, in closing, only the Cleveland Browns put themselves in these positions, boys.
Yeah. All right, we will turn to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, give us your insight on this Buffalo Bills and Browns preseason matchup.
Okay. This appears to be the final audition for the Browns quarterbacks before Todd Monken makes his decision this week, which we expect him to do, on who will start the season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars on September the 13th. This was Shador Sanders' chance to make his case for the starting job. As I said, this could have been the most important half of football I think Shador Sanders has had so far, right, Steve?
Oh, correct, Dave.
He did get off to a good start in the first half, and we're going to get into that. But again, I think there was a mixture to this first half for Shador, and I'm also going to talk about that. He did some really good things on the opening drive. By the way, the Bills got the ball first. Kyle Allen did drive the Bills, not Josh Allen. Kyle Allen drove the Bills 75 yards in 9 plays on that opening drive touchdown march, capped by the 1-yard TD run by Ray Davis. The Bills are sitting at 2-0 in preseason, rested Josh Allen and most of their starters. Buffalo's first-year coach, Joe Brady, was pleased enough with what he saw in Allen and the other regulars apparently in that Thursday joint practice against the Browns to give them the day off. Then it was Shador's turn. He led a very nice 11-play, 65-yard touchdown drive, hitting a couple of nice throws along the way. He capped the drive with an 8-yard touchdown pass to Luke Floria. He did an excellent job of showing poise in the pocket. That was the thing that we talked about. Could he show poise in the pocket, go through his progressions, not break from the pocket, some of the things that we saw in the past that we commented, a year ago. So his pocket presence was better, and going through his progressions was better. This was the best version of Shador we've seen so far, right, Brent?
Oh, absolutely. He looked very. I actually still thought even the first game where he wasn't as good as the second game, he still looked good in the first game to me, and he looked comfortable. I feel like that the trajectory, because remember he was a 5th-round pick.
Yeah,
this guy is a work in progress, and gradually we are seeing him get better. The only thing is, when there's live bullets,
yes,
will this hold up this thinking?
Last thing before you make your comment, Steve. I want to see him against a blitz, when a team brings like a certain blitz package, because he did not handle pressure well. That's going to be interesting to see once he becomes a starter during the season. Steve, your thought?
Yeah, guys. He took command of the huddle. He completed most of his passes. Like Dave said, this was very serious.
Yeah.
He went through his progressions.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I love him in the pocket. Not there.
Yeah.
Boom, there. He reacted. He's improving. The biggest thing, Dave, is he is improving. I think he can start. I really do. I think he's very good.
Well,
I think he's better than people think.
Well, he's definitely the starter in my mind, but here's the deal. What's it like when there's live bullets? Because Dave said it right. We watched these games last year. I don't care what anybody says. He wasn't all that great last year. Now, was he better than what Dylan? Yeah, but he wasn't. He was probably the best of the worst.
The bottom line is, you talked about how vanilla these defenses are in preseason.
Yeah.
Teams are going to play off coverage. They're not going to blitz as much. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts when he sees different types of coverages and different types of blitz packages during the season.
Sure.
The last couple of drives for Shador did not end as well. The Browns got 1 first down on the next drive before Shador took his first sack of the game. They punted after 5 plays. On the following drive, Shador did start to cook a little bit again. He had a nice throw to tight end Ryan on a rollout, and then a nice throw down the sideline to Floria on like a vertical. But the drive ended badly. His throw over the middle to Jermaine Terry was behind him, tipped, and picked. Again, he's got to do a better job of taking care of the football. He finished the 9 of 11, 74 yards with a touchdown and a pick. I'm going to summarize later. Kyle Allen ended the half on a high note for the Bills with a 4-play, 65-yard touchdown drive, capped by a 9-yard TD pass to McCole Hardman. That sent us into the half with the Bills leading 14-7. The second half saw the appearance of both Watson and Gabriel. Watson came in the third quarter, and this time it did not go well. His first drive saw him throw 2 incompletions for a 3-and-out. The Bills put together a decent drive, ended with a 52-yard field goal by Tyler Bass to extend the Bills' lead to 17-7. Watson's second drive was also a 3-and-out, which included a throw in the dirt. This wasn't getting any better for Deshaun Watson. Buffalo also went 3-and-out, so Watson took over again. After a nice 20-yard completion, which might have been his best throw of the preseason so far to Malachi Corley, Watson scrambled for a nice 10-yard run. So again, occasionally you see the arm, occasionally you see the legs. You just don't see it consistently. After getting into Buffalo territory on a 3rd and 5, Watson threw a pass way too high for Gage Larvidan, and it was intercepted. Watson stayed in the game at the beginning of the fourth quarter and continued a drive he had going, from the previous third quarter. It ended with a turnover on downs, again, as a 4th down pass to Floria was tipped at the line. The Bills would end up going 11 plays for 63 yards, which ended on a 5-yard TD run by their third-string quarterback, Shane Buechele. That made it 31-7 Bills, and the Browns moved on to a new quarterback. This was not the day Watson needed to secure this job, was it, Brent?
No, he was bad, and we're getting back to the mental, the fragile, what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The guy, I think not just checked out. I think I've had it wrong with him the whole time. I feel like that civil suit that had a lot more to do with things than what we thought. Because here's why. When he came here, everyone kept saying, well, why is he so bad?
Yeah.
It's simple. And I don't believe this crap about him taking that year off. But go ahead.
Well, to me, it's just it all comes together. It's a confluence of everything. It's missing an entire season in 21. It is the civil suits. It is a torn rotator cuff. It is 2 torn Achilles.
A lot of injuries.
That's way too much.
But
he never fit the Kevin Stefanski system. All of this, it's like a confluence of everything.
It is true, but I don't think that, I just don't, how do I say this? He's the guy that if you say the bad word to him, people like name calling. You call somebody a bad name, well, most people will be like, screw you, I don't care. I think he's a sensitive dude.
Steve,
he's a sensitive guy. Go ahead.
Thought on his performance, Steve?
Yeah, what makes me almost laugh, Dave, is he thought he didn't perform that bad. I mean, we all watched the game.
Yeah.
I can't name anyone that said he could perform good.
Yeah.
So my thing is with Watson is like, I felt like he finally, because I don't know why he didn't do with Coach Stefanski. Coach Stefanski was nice to him or something. I don't know. But he finally got to speak his feelings after the game.
Oh.
And he thought this game was not performance-oriented or related.
Yeah, he's taking it personal.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Said everything he
That's my point.
Yeah.
He's more interested in.
He wanted to get his.
I'd be like Dave calling me a name. Dave called me a name. I'm upset. Like he's more interested in that than guys. This is football. You got to perform.
Yeah. I think I'm not going to start saying feelings, so I'm going to stay away from that. Enter Dylan Gabriel before he could even take a snap. Cleveland had 2 false starts penalties, putting him in a 1st and 20 situation. Gabriel's first pass was tipped. And after a run by Booth went for no gain, he faced a 3rd and 20, yet another false start. A second by KT Leviston, our guy on that drive, made it 3rd and 25. Gabriel simply turned around, handed it off to Booth for 12 yards. They had to punt. The Bills got the ball back, running out the clock, ending things at 31-7. All right, here's my take. In reviewing Shador's day, he helped himself, in my view. He does look like the better option than Deshaun Watson, but that's like being named valedictorian of summer school, Brent. To me, it doesn't mean a whole lot. So
at least not right now.
Yeah. By the way, I like that valedictorian of summer school, but Brent knows a few of those guys down East Canton way, I think.
Well, you got to go to summer school because your side job at the bar wasn't working so well, so you flunked a few classes.
Yeah,
maybe you got held back, and then you got to go to summer school. You know what I mean?
There we go.
You remember you guys had that in Cuyahoga Falls, didn't you?
Well, we were educated people.
We were educated people. No, the summer school is pretty dead around here. I can imagine. Everybody, where I come from.
Not so
it was pretty full. Let's put it this way: that summer school teacher, he earned his salary.
He did show some really good stuff on the first drive, especially with the backup offensive line, and they didn't have their full complement of skill players, so let's give him some credit there. Going through his progressions and standing tall in the pocket are really good signs. He does have a better arm than Watson and accuracy than Watson, but again, that's not saying much when we're talking about a quarterback that's wrecked. The bad is still he has that tendency to eventually make a bad throw, and that normally leads to the pick. He's late over the middle sometimes. He throws behind a receiver, as he did in this one. I can see him being the better option than Watson, but I can't see him being the long-term answer for the Browns. That's where I wash out. On to Watson. He looked really bad. We're seeing a lack of accuracy. He isn't even seeing the field well. He's making poor decisions with the football as well. It's hard to believe he was once a franchise quarterback in this league. It's even harder to believe that Todd Monken might even start him, isn't it, Steve?
It really is.
As far as Dylan Gabriel, I want to throw this out there, is concerned, I just can't see him being a part of this team in the future for much longer. I don't see what he adds in the future. He's probably a clipboard quarterback, I think somewhere else. It's disappointing to me the Browns spent a 3rd-round pick on them. That could even be another starter at another position. Bottom line, the Browns don't have very many good options here, and I think that goes without saying. In my view, let's go with the younger guy. It's going to be interesting seeing Shador slinging it to our team and to the other team for that matter. This is Todd Monken's court. How do you see all 3 quarterbacks, Brent?
Yeah, so here's where I'm at with the whole thing. So number 1 on the pecking order is definitely Shador Sanders.
Yeah.
He should be the starter. If they care about winning, he's definitely your starter. If they want to tank, go with Watson.
Okay.
I would go with him if you're going to look to tank and maybe get in the Arch Manning stakes. I think Shador Sanders, if you actually think about winning this year, he should be your starter. Then you just ride that pony out all year. You let him play as many games as he can.
Okay.
You don't go to Gabriel unless like there's an injury or something. and you just see what you got. But because to me, the Watson thing, because he is so mentally fragile, I just don't see him ever playing with any. As Dave said, though, there actually is a small. I'll say this: there is just there's a small percentage that says he could turn this around if he becomes a starter and he wins those 2 road games. Boy, that confidence could really help him going into Cleveland at week 3. Go ahead.
Final thought on your guy, Gabriel. Is he got a long-term position here, or is it going to have to be somewhere else?
I'm going to get to that now. Yes, he does have a long term here, because here's where I'm at with it. I've heard this today on some radio shows, and I knew about this. There is a chance they could put Deshaun Watson on some kind of leave where he still gets paid. He's on the active roster.
Okay.
And he's just there so we don't take the dead cap hit, and they would need Gabriel as the backup, but Watson would be in street clothes or what have you. Now, I have heard about this, like, they said the guy has to be injured or illness, but I am hearing that there's a chance that they might put him on some kind of active roster, street clothes deal where he's just there, but he's not getting in the game.
Right.
The only way he probably plays if, like, the first quarterback went down, second quarterback goes on, third quarterback goes on, and then Watson is like an emergency thing. I feel like Dylan, he's very important now, because there's a chance Watson, he might not even see the field. Go ahead.
Steve, your thoughts on all the quarterbacks?
Yeah, Dave. I think we've seen enough of Deshaun Watson. This game kind of told me a story. This told me this. He didn't even score on one drive. No touchdown pass, no handoff for a touchdown. I
playing dump passes in week 1. Remember that?
Yeah.
Preseason.
So he played better in that first preseason game, but this one, I mean, you have to perform even a little bit. So I think I've seen enough. I know Jimmy Haslam, the owner, wants to see, like, how would he be? Can another coach him in real live games and regular season games? This game kind of told me no. So I'm not on the Watson train, not at all. Let's get to Shador, Dave.
Yeah.
Shador, I would actually name Shador as the starter. I thought he performed good enough that it wasn't outstanding.
Yeah.
But I thought he went through his progressions. He played good enough. I think me and you differ on this. I think he could possibly, I'm not saying 100%, be your long-term answer in Cleveland.
I think there's a 25% chance of that. That's where I'd give 25.
Won some football games for us last year.
I don't know.
He had a
fair enough, but it was not 50.
No.
Dave, he had a backing of his teammates. The team wanted to win for him, in my opinion, last year. Why not at least give him a shot, see what he's got? So I do like Shador, Dave. So there's my answer there.
Gabriel.
And Dylan Gabriel, I wanted to trade him. I told you that before.
Yeah.
But if something happens, like Brent says, if they put Watson on some kind of list or something like that,
they might.
then you may need Gabriel.
Yeah.
So, and let's get Taylor Green moving on quicker.
Yeah, that's a project. Fair.
Yeah. Somebody said that they could put Watson like in his Browns jersey, and like being like more of a clipboard guy. But that's not good, because it'd be a distraction. You almost need him in street clothes.
Yeah.
For him now. We talked about this. Let's get into this. The audience doesn't know this is about. Everybody keeps, I hear things and people are saying, well, release him. No, you don't want to release Sean Watson. Yeah. Here's what happens. You take an $80 million, I believe I'm right about this, $80 to $90 million cap hit next year. Now, here's the good news. If you do that, you can spread that cap hit over 2 years.
Right.
Which I like.
Well, I think Deshaun knows in the back of his mind the Browns are trying to run out the clock here. But
think about it.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when you can just simply fulfill the year and he's done?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't want do you guys want the cap? Go answer this. Do you guys hold on? Do you want the cap hit? Do you guys want that?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I don't want it.
I don't, and I think they have to look towards the future. So I agree.
Steve, do you want the cap hit?
I don't. But you know why it's so high? The cap hit that Brent's talking about.
Yeah.
Because Andrew Berry restructured it a few times, which made the money more in the longer run. That's why it's right now, Brent, because he already did it to try to save money and make us better 1 and 2 years ago. So that's big. Yeah.
Well, see, by the way, this just feeds the fire of why people say this could be the worst deal in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Definitely the NFL.
It is. And I think,
with the way it's affected the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, final thoughts, Brent. It's going to be an interesting decision. I think there's a good chance it still goes with Watson. But either way, I think we see maybe all 3 of these quarterbacks this year.
I thought that too. I did not. Okay, so I've been watching these radio shows.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a Cleveland media fan, if you guys haven't been noticing, Mary Kay, Your 92.3. Everyone's like, they're freaking out about this press conference yesterday. I was like, guys, like I kind of like it wasn't a surprise to me. Watson's always been sensitive.
Yeah.
He's been complaining about these things. Like it's not like a news flash to me. But I think I still think there's a chance he could be the starter. Yeah. No, I don't want it, but I think they might do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the question for Monken is who fits his offense best, who gives the team the best chance to win. But I don't see anything in Deshaun Watson's performance even that gives this team the best chance to win.
Here's a question for you guys: Is Watson and Sanders going to play in the third game or no?
I don't think so.
Well, I think what the argument is this: they'll name the starter, and it'll be.
And then the backup, the non-starter plays in game 3.
I think you're going to see Dylan Gabriel and Taylor Green.
Well, hold on, you heard I said the non-starter that they don't announce, he'd play in the next.
Well, I think it would still be helpful from a personal standpoint. Whoever he names the starter,
you want him to play?
Yeah, they have to play him.
Yeah.
Get him ready.
By the way,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Taylor Green is playing in the third preseason game against New England.
I go the opposite of what you said because you know why they don't want the starter to get hurt.
Well, yeah, but I'm taking the old school.
I know. Well, yeah, if it's the early 2000s, they'd be in.
Yeah, right.
And if I'm not mistaken, guys, in the old NFL, early 2000s and late 90s, the third preseason game was always the dress rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly. Get them ready for the start of the season.
Yeah, that's right. So but to finalize this, guys, my take on the whole thing is Deshaun Watson, by all means, is very mentally fragile. He cannot, he's not your future. He's very weak-minded. He's not a competitor. He's not an athlete. I don't know. Something got lost. You know what I feel? When he was at Clemson, everybody kissed his butt.
Yeah.
He was a god. And at Houston, he had the nice receiving core. But you know Deshaun Watson's bad at? Adversity.
Yeah.
He can't do anything good with adversity. So I will leave things with that with Deshaun Watson. I'm not impressed, and I feel like this is the end of the road. I hope we don't take the dead cat.
He brought problems upon himself.
Yeah.
He did it in Houston, and he can't recover from it.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that sums that up. We will get to the next topic, and that is our position groups. And this time we'll head to the defense. And then we'll get into the linebackers, and we will start with Mr. Dave Greenship.
Yep.
Dave, get us some insight on the Browns position group linebackers.
Well, the linebacker room is anchored by the reigning defensive rookie of the year, Carson Schlesinger, and a new veteran, Quincy Williams. Schlesinger is coming off an incredible season where he led all rookies with 156 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and was tied for third in interceptions, playing a significant role in the Browns defense as a signal caller. He led all rookies with tackles for loss in 25 and tied for third in interceptions. I love the way he plays sideline to sideline. He's a high motor guy. I know that's often an overused term amongst defensive players, particularly linebackers, but he exudes that, Steve. I think he's got a real future as a leader on this defense, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. He's the guy we've been waiting for. Dave, we've talked about it a few years now, where the Browns missed out on linebackers. They never drafted them. They didn't get them. Andrew Berry finally woke up and smelled the coffee and drafted this guy. He's one of my favorite Cleveland Browns, probably one of yours too, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him this year. I think he'd even play better.
I could see a future with a lot of Pro Bowls in it for him, Steve, definitely. Williams, by the way, Quincy Williams, the other linebacker spot, brings a unique skill set highlighted by speed. He replaces departing Devin Bush, who had 125 total tackles. Bush had a really good year for us last year, Steve.
Oh, he certainly did, Dave. He had excellent play. I mean, as a former Steeler, that's where he had his best days. But last year for Cleveland, probably was best season.
He earned himself some real dough from the Chicago Bears.
They paid the man.
They paid the man. Williams shares a connection with DC Mike Rutenberg from their time in New York with the Jets, while Rutenberg was the linebackers coach during Williams' all-pro season of 2023. So I think that bodes well for this season. He's the type of linebacker who pursues, again, well sideline to sideline. He's very effective against the run. He has that kind of seek and destroy quality. Now, he can struggle in coverage. He can over-pursue a little bit when running with pass catchers, so he could get exploited in the pass game a little bit. He will have big shoes to fill with the loss of production from Bush. I'm interested to see how he's utilized in a Rutenberg defense. Beyond the top two linebackers on the team, the Browns have some real questions. Nathaniel Watson, a former sixth-round pick by the Browns in the 2024 draft, has seen action in only 14 career games, totaling just 9 career tackles so far in his young career, while mostly earning time on special teams. Watson has seen actions in 14 career games, totaling 9 career tackles so far in his young career, with mostly earning time on special teams. Winston Reed is heading into his 3rd season. He played 16 games in 2024. He's a depth piece who could have a chance to earn that 3rd starting linebacker spot at that weak side linebacker role. I think that's the real question, Steve. Who's the 3rd linebacker here, right?
I think it's got to be Winston Reed or the other fella.
Possibly the draft pick.
Easton Mascaris, or how do you say him? Mascaris Arnold?
Yes.
He also could be a possibility, but yeah, it's Reed or Arnold.
Yeah. Justin Jefferson also could maybe be in that mix, their draft pick. So it's going to be interesting to see who fills that 3rd linebacker spot this season. Reed, by the way, again, heading into this 3rd season, he played in 16 games in 2024, a depth piece. He could earn the 3rd starting linebacker spot. By the way, the Browns filled out that linebacker room by selecting Justin Jefferson, not the wide receiver, but the linebacker in the 5th round. Yeah, we do wish we had that guy in the 5th round of the draft. How will Jefferson's role develop among the linebackers after signing Williams in free agency? The Browns built out the rest of the linebacker room in the draft by selecting Jefferson in the draft. The Browns really like his speed, his range, and his athleticism. In 2026, the Browns promoted Jason Tarver to their linebackers coach and run game coordinator. He has experience in both the 3-4 and 4-3 schemes, and he likes linebackers with versatility in run defense and in pass coverage. Again, it'll be interesting to see who fills that weak side role. We do know 2 out of the 3 linebacker spots will be filled by Schlesinger and Williams. So that's really the key to this defense. Just my overall take on this is a position group that's lacking depth. Where have we heard that before? We've talked about depth, right, Brent, so many times. Williams will have big shoes to fill with the loss of Bush, especially given the season that Bush had in Cleveland. I like Williams' speed. It'll be fun watching him pursue ball carriers from sideline to sideline, no doubt. Schlesinger is the best player at the position, not to mention a leader on defense. This, again, could be a really strong run defense, provided Graham and Collins stay healthy. That would make Schlesinger's job a lot easier, and a trio would bode well for the run defense. We talked about it, Steve. Collins at defensive tackle, Graham at the opposite defensive tackle, Schlesinger up the middle. Could bode well for a strong run defense this year, don't you think?
Oh, that'd be great, Dave. That would be excellent.
Yeah, he put up great numbers in 25. I'm excited to see if he can duplicate it. Again, the 3rd linebacker spot, I'm hearing Winston Reed. Regardless of who gets the start, I don't expect a heavy impact player as we have at the other 2 spots. The best case is the Browns get at least serviceable play, I think, out of that weak side linebacker spot. I certainly wish the depth was better here. Injuries do happen. This is yet another example of a team in rebuild mode like we talked about before the cast. Most teams are lacking in depth. In 2026, Brent, this is a position group that has some real upside with the top 2 guys, especially Williams and Schlesinger. Once again, let's hope for health at this position in 2026.
Well said, Dave. We get to Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, take us away here on the linebacker position group.
All right, boys. Well, as we know, Jason Tarver joined the Browns in 2020, and he served as the linebackers coach. He was promoted to defensive run game coordinator while retaining his linebackers coaching duties. He is one of the better coaches on the defensive side of the ball. Get to your starters, like Dave said. Your main guy is Carson Schlesinger, middle linebacker. One of the steals of the draft, by the way, by Andrew Berry. Looking to enter year 2 and build on a historic rookie campaign where he led all rookies in tackles with 146 guys. He also had 2.5 sacks and 2 interceptions. He's the main play caller on defense, so he'll be doing that for you. The other starter is Quincy Williams, strong side linebacker. Expected tough shoes to fill, expected to replace Devin Bush, like David mentioned, where he had played great last season, but now he's a Bear. A former Jet star, brings veteran sideline to sideline speed and an all-pro pedigree to anchor the second level of the defense alongside Schlesinger. He gets to reunite with, like you said, Dave, with defensive coordinator Mike Rutenberg, where he thrived. Now, I'm going to give you my answer, and then I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead and shoot.
I know Bush had a great season.
Yeah.
I actually like Williams better. That is just my opinion. And he's got the relationship with Rutenberg. I think that's going to gel very well. Dave, in the long haul, who's your better Cleveland Brown? Even though Bush is gone, did you like Devin Bush, or do you think Quincy Williams can outplay him and become a Pro Bowl linebacker again?
Well, I thought Bush, in a lot of ways, last year might have been playing for a bigger contract, which he was obviously able to get from the Bears. So, I always use the baseball approach. Whenever you see a player in a contract, they usually have a big year at the plate. But, it's interesting. Bush really has only had two or three productive years. He's only had like one or two real productive years with the Steelers. I like the fact that he's reunited with Tarver and with Rutenberg, pardon me. I'm interested to see how he fits the scheme. I think he's going to be good against the run. Pass coverage is going to be a question. Love his speed. Again, I think it helps make the run defense really strong. I think we get slightly more production out of Williams this year than we did Bush, but that's saying a lot. 125 total tackles last year from Bush is a lot of production, Steve. But slightly to Williams.
Ooh, I'm glad to hear that answer because I thought you were going to say Bush, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so let's get to the backups or possible starter if you have three linebackers out there. I'm saying Winston Reed like you did, Dave. He's your weak side linebacker. He's expected to compete for a backup, inside linebacker role and get rotational snaps while making contributions on special teams. I think you'll still see Reed on your special teams. But right now he's actually even listed. If you go to a Browns roster and you look at the starters, second, third,
I've seen him listed as a starter.
As a starter if you have the three linebackers out there on the field at the same time. So he probably has your best shot to be your first rotational player or possible starter, like we just said there. Your other backups, Nathaniel Watson, middle linebacker. He's a depth piece and is competing for a reserve linebacker and special teams role. Easton Mascarenhas Arnold. Sometimes I say that middle part wrong.
Good job on that one, Steve.
I know.
I'm proud of you, Steve. Can I help you with that?
He's expected to transition from a special teams contributor into a vital rotational, or possibly, that's what I was going to say, Dave. He also is in consideration for your starting weak side linebacker. I thought he didn't play that bad last year. Justin Jefferson, he's your rookie out of Alabama.
Yeah.
He's expected to be a developmental coverage linebacker, but his core will be as a special teamer.
Yeah, I think Watson and I think Jefferson are really there for depth pieces. Again, you better hope Williams and Schlesinger stay healthy for the entire season, Steve.
Exactly. Overall, the starters should be some of the best in the game with Schlesinger and Williams, but the backups are suspect and lack proven, reliable experience. Some are developmental pieces and will need to step up quicker if someone was to go down, Dave. So there's your linebacker crew. Pretty good at the top, not so great at the bottom.
We've heard that with a lot of position groups, Steve.
In Cleveland.
Yeah.
All right, well said, Steve. We will get to the last topic today, and that is the top 5 NFL rookies. Which rookies will have the most impact in the 2026 season? We will turn to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, get us started on this.
Yeah, I'll get you started at my number one choice, and then we can get to Steve's number one choice. I'm going to go Jeremiah Love, the running back with the Arizona Cardinals. He was my choice as the best offensive player in this draft. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how much he's utilized in this Arizona Cardinals offense. The Cardinals already had Trey Benson and James Conner. They signed Tyler Algier in free agency. In my view, he's easily the best back of this group, and it's not even close. He's the perfect dual threat back. He has the ability to hit the home run. You saw that at Notre Dame. New coach Mike LaFleur comes from that McVay zone run scheme, inside zone, outside zone. They ran a lot of that with Todd Gurley in his early years in the McVay scheme. Jacoby Brissett could use the help of a strong running game. I do believe Love will provide it. Look for him to be used as a receiver out of the backfield, screen game, wheel routes, all of that. This is an offense, by the way, with some solid skill player talent. You look at Harrison, Williams at receiver, right, Steve? Trey McBride at tight end.
Yeah, they got some good receivers. They needed this running back.
Throwing Love. Yeah, Love at running back. I'm adding Love to that list of playmakers. This should be a big help to the veteran Brissett. Expecting a lot from Jeremiah Love to be a major weapon for the Cardinals' attack in 26, Brent.
All right, Steve, we'll get your number one for the rookies.
Well, guys, you know I like them. I talked about him in the past. I had Fernando Mendoza, your quarterback for the Raiders.
Yep.
As we know, he was the number one pick, and he won the national championship at Indiana.
Real quick, Steve.
Sure.
Do you expect Cousins to get the start, or he looked a little shaky against the Texans his last start, his last outing there?
They're going with Cousins.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Go ahead.
I've told you guys before. Now, this is my opinion. Okay?
Go ahead.
I think they should start Mendoza off rip.
Why?
I know he throwed an interception. I would like to see Kubiak as a rookie head coach and Mendoza as a rookie quarterback gel and play together. I just would. I know Cousins. Everyone is saying it pretty much. I'm one of the only people on the Mendoza train, but I know you're laughing a little bit, but Cousins,
Yeah.
I know he's a serviceable backup, but he is a backup now. He's not a true starter.
See, I'm with Brent on this. I'm going to take the traditional role. I think you start the veteran quarterback.
Yeah.
That's why he's there. It's the bridge quarterback, and that's what Cousins is. He's a bridge quarterback. And then eventually, over the course of the season, because Cousins can get injured too. You're going to see Mendoza before the end of the season, don't you think, Brent?
Yeah, this Cousins thing is really bothering me. First of all, when he was with the Falcons,
Yeah.
and even in Minnesota, there was always this rush to get him out of there. Put him out. Got to replace Cousins. Got to put in Penix. Guys, Kirk Cousins is a lot better than people think. Is he perfect? No. But he deserves to be in there. For his guy. No.
He had an injury, and not to say he can't get injured. And I don't think he recovered with good quarterback play after the injury. Before the injury, Dave, he was pretty good.
By the way, a lot of people say that you look at Mendoza and you look at Kirk Cousins, there's a little bit of separated at birth there. But I've heard that before.
Well,
That's
except
like the Allens, apparently. The Allens,
you think Mendoza's going to be a dork and act like Kirk Cousins? Do you like that? He's going to be a dork and they'll do it together.
Oh, yeah.
Kumbaya and
No, listen, I said I thought that Mendoza's ceiling is a Kirk Cousins, like level of play.
I think I could be better.
Well, we'll see. I was never necessarily blown away with what Mendoza did in Indiana. If you look at his game log, the two best defenses he played last year were Ohio State and Miami. He played well, but he didn't play really, really well, and I mean, now I like his coach. We're both big Clint Kubiak fans. And if they could run the ball better, Steve, that would definitely help.
Actually, Jenny, I
don't. Steve, I'm sorry. I think you're off on this.
Go ahead.
I feel like this is the Andy Reid thing with Mahomes. Just sit him. Just remember with the guy. Help me out. Who was the starter for the Chiefs?
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Before
just
Mahomes.
do that. Let him just. And I think Mahomes was the starter. I think it was the second year. Just do that. Just wait a year. I mean, it's not going to. You're so much better when you hold the clipboard.
All right,
but who's he better than? He's going to be better than Cam Ward. Come on, both agree.
Cam Ward shouldn't have been starting. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that was a no choice situation.
And Shador Sanders, same thing. No, shouldn't be a starter. Guys, when these rookies aren't good enough, they're just not.
Yeah,
most of them aren't. Some of them are, but most of them aren't. Go ahead.
I think you start Cousins, but I think we'll see Mendoza by midseason, Steve.
Yeah,
you could do something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want him starting day one. Just let him observe.
And by the way, an 8-9 game sample size is something to maybe take into 2027. So
keep going.
Well, guys, Mendoza is viewed as a high-impact rookie due to his elite football IQ, exceptional pocket discipline, and leadership. He's praised for his decision-making under pressure and ability to read complex defenses, even though he threw that interception in the second game against Houston after playing great in the first game. His experience running pro-style concepts at Indiana made his transition to the NFL smoother. His head coach is Clint Kubiak, as we said, and this is huge for him. Kubiak will be able to develop him to run an offense to his skill set, and guys, that's him. Mendoza, number one.
All right, we will turn to Mr. Dave Greenshow. Dave, who do you have at number 2?
Caleb Downs, the safety with the Dallas Cowboys. I just flat out love this guy, and I think he's going to be great. It's hard for me to believe he went with the 11th pick in this draft. This is a shot in the arm that the Dallas defense needed.
Yeah.
The defense was a big area of need for the Cowboys, and Downs should be a plug-and-play starter who can impact Christian Parker's defense in multiple ways. This was the 32nd pass-rated defense in 2025. They need some help. And they were also 32nd in points allowed. It was a bad defense. You know what they were in 2025, Brent? They were the Bengals version of 24.
Yeah.
They scored a lot, gave up a lot.
I agree with
I think the Cowboys will be good this year. That's just what I think.
We're going to talk about that in the extravaganza.
Yeah, I know.
Let's leave him wanting more.
I know.
now.
Steve Retzer doesn't like the Cowboys. He's not a big Cowboys guy.
All right. He consistently earned an elite PFF coverage grades, 85 or better, in each of his 3 seasons at Ohio State. I should say in each of his 2 seasons at Ohio State. And ranked in the 81st percentile in slot coverage and 79.9 according to PFF. This is a big reason Ohio State had the best defense in the country the last 2 seasons. He's got position versatility. You can line him up at free safety, in the slot. He can play in the box. Dallas has improved the front 7 a lot, post Micah Parsons. I believe Downs improves the secondary in 2026. He's my early leading candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Brent, I'm expecting big things from Downs in 26.
Steve, what do you have at number 2?
Number 2, I have Jeremiah Love, the running back of the Cardinals.
Yep.
He's injured right now. I think it's a hamstring, I believe.
Yep. You know what, Steve? Real quick thought. They're utilizing him way too much in preseason. I've read a lot about that. They should have dialed back his touches in the preseason. And I know maybe I'm going against what I said, but a little bit. But I think he got way too many carries. They should have found a happy medium.
Well, he's expected to be the best rookie running back.
Yeah.
And one of the better backs probably in the game. That's what they're thinking. He has elite speed. 3-down versatility, explosive college production, of course, at Notre Dame, an immediate workhorse opportunity in a revamped offense, secured to top his rookie status. Jacoby Brissett had to throw a lot last season. He had to throw too much last season, in my opinion, and Love will help him by running the football and, like you said, Dave, catching some passes in the backfield, maybe a wheel route, something like that.
Yeah.
He combines elite cutting ability and agility with a powerful physical profile to break tackles in tight spaces. This guy's the real deal. He's like a track star.
Right.
When he's running, he'll be gone. And defenders will be bouncing off of him. This guy is definitely part of the NFL's future for a star running back.
Dual threat, can hit the home run. Like him a lot more than I liked Genty a year ago.
Well said, Steve. We will get to Mr. Dave Greenshield. Dave, how about number 3?
Number 3, Mekhi Lemon, the wide receiver from USC that went to the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a combination of a talented player and a team that really needs help at the position as we move post A.J. Brown era in Philadelphia. He's got 4.3 speed. He's an excellent route runner. He had over 1,100 yards receiving and 11 touchdown receptions last year at USC. It's going to be interesting to see how new OC in Philly, Sean Mannion, deploys him in his offense. Will they put him in the slot? He played 75.9% of his snaps last year at USC out of that position in the slot. This is a wide receiver room that needs some help. Outside of Devontae Smith, they need a producer at that position. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of chemistry he can develop with Jalen Hurts. You know, Hurts could really use a reliable target on 3rd downs and on those intermediate routes. That's where Lemon could really excel in this offense. Steve, do you have a thought?
Yeah, Dave. I thought it was a good pick for them to get Lemon. He's a short receiver, but I think Devontae Smith is short too. So I think, but with A.J. Brown gone,
Yeah.
Lemon could definitely, Hurts could get him involved in the offense. I definitely agree there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying on comparing the two size components. Just a quick thought on this, Steve. I think one's going to play more out of the slot. Devontae Smith is more of an outside guy, deep threat guy.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they'll be able to complement each other. At 5'11", 194 pounds, some questions in his size for the wide receiver position. No doubt about that, Steve. But when you watch the tape, this is a guy that just finds ways to get open and make plays. In 2026, Brett, I expect him to have a sizable role in the Philadelphia offense.
Well said, Dave. Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, number 3. I got a feeling what's that guy's name? Denzel Boston? I'm surprised he's not your number 1. I mean, you're so delusional when it comes to your biasness towards some of these guys.
Real quick?
Sorry, Steve. I didn't not trying to make fun of you.
Real quick, Glenn. If we did a top 10, I might have had him in the top 10.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I think I would too.
Like I said, I'm expecting a Denzel Boston here. Like you never know what Steve here. You might drop him in there. Go ahead, Steve.
I've been known to do some wild things at times.
Go ahead.
Number 3, I have David Bailey, defensive end of your New York Jets.
Good choice.
His elite first step explosiveness, blazing edge speed, and a dominant training camp has turned head, boys. He aims to fix a stagnant Jets pass rush. Following a stellar college career at Texas Tech, he was one of the best in the business. He led the FBS with 14.5 sacks and 81 pressures last season. He's expected to have 10 or more sacks in 26. I think he's going to help turn this Jets defense. Remember a few years back, the Jets defense wasn't that bad.
Well, you trade Sauce Gardner, you should trade Quentin Williams. I mean, you start moving around some personnel, it doesn't help the cause, Steve. So.
No, that's for sure. But they're getting younger, and I think this defense will get better, and Bailey will be a big part of it. Could be a Rookie of the Year candidate on defense. I may even win that.
Excellent pass rusher. He could have a big impact.
Well said, Steve. We'll get to Mr. Dave Greenchill. Dave, what do you have at number 4?
Jadarian Price, running back with the Seattle Seahawks. This is yet another example of a talented player and a team who needed help at this position. Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker III, left for that big contract with the Chiefs. Zach Charbonnet, the other running back, is coming off a torn ACL. Price shared a backfield last year at Notre Dame with Jeremiah Love, and he made the most of it. He averaged 6 yards a carry on the 113 carries he got. He also scored 11 touchdowns on the ground in 2025. He's 5'11", 203 pounds, but he has the ability to break tackles. He has great acceleration. New offensive coordinator Brian Fleury is emphasizing a dominant run game. I would add this is a very underrated Seattle offensive line that got better over the course of the season, Steve. I think the missing component that kind of came along over the last year with that Clint Kubiak offense was that running game late in the year.
Oh, absolutely. I guess my question for you, Dave.
Yeah.
You probably watched more Notre Dame football than I did.
I watched a fair amount.
And we all know Jeremiah Love,
Sure.
best running back in the game, for rookies. I didn't watch enough of Jadarian Price.
Right.
Is he pretty solid as well? So
Yeah.
he really could be a pretty good football player.
Yeah, I don't know if he has the overall home running hitting ability that Love does. Very few backs do. Also, the one question I have, and I have this in my notes, is maybe his ability as a pass catcher is
Okay.
what I could be, is why I think Love is that much. But this was easily the best backfield in college football last year by far. I like the Seattle offensive line. Gray Zabel, by the way, in the future is going to be one of the best guards in football. They love to run that zone blocking run scheme, which I think is a good fit for Price's ability to make cuts and accelerate for bigger runs. It's going to be interesting to see how much he's utilized, again, as a receiver out of the backfield. Again, he only caught 15 passes in 41 games at Notre Dame. I expect his role to evolve. It'll be interesting to see how many touches he gets early in the season, but by the end of the year, Brent, I do expect him to have a larger role with him splitting touches with Charbonnet as in that backfield in Seattle in 2026. I think Price, he's going to pay off for the Seattle Seahawks.
Well said, Dave. Mr. Steve Retzer. Steve, get us number 4.
Number 4, Dave had him earlier. I had Caleb Downs, safety,
Okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
He has elite football intelligence, high in positional versatility across safety and the nickel slot. He won the good old Jim Thorpe Award last season at The Ohio State University.
Yep.
He utilizes all the field moving between deep safety. He could play in the box.
Yep.
He could play in the nickel slot, like I mentioned. He could be all over that field.
And mark my words, Steve. I'm going to throw it on a marker here. In 2 or 3 years, he's going to take over the title as best safety in the NFL from Hamilton and Branch.
It's a possibility. Could he be like your next Ed Reed?
I'm not going to go that far. Ed Reed is probably along.
Great ball hawk.
Yeah, and Ed Reed is arguably one of the 2 or 3 best safeties to ever play the game.
Right.
So I'm not going to go that far, but I think he takes over the mantle as the best safety in the game in a couple of years.
He's expected to start right away and play a key role on the rebuilding Cowboys secondary. He was the top safety in the draft, and he could be, this is what I was just saying, possibly a generational talent at his position.
I agree, Steve.
Yeah, well said. Dave, get us number 5.
Number 5, Sonny Styles, the linebacker with the Washington Commanders. This was my choice as biggest impact rookie as a defensive player when we did our draft specials. This is a guy who's had an interesting journey to this position. He showed it at the combine that, by the way, he's an athletic freak. I'm going to get into that in a minute. His production at Ohio State in 2025 was great. He had 82 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, and he only missed 1 tackle the entire season, which I thought was amazing. I remember it in the playoff game against Miami. I think he missed a tackle on Fletcher, the running back, in the hole. In 2024, he was even better. He had 100 total tackles, and 10.5 tackles for loss. And that was his first year of playing the position of college linebacker, Steve, by the way.
Wow.
Very impressive. He was a huge part of the run to the national championship that season, and he was on the 2 best college defenses those last 2 seasons. He was a former safety, so he has really good coverage skills for a linebacker. He brings us elite athleticism. 4.46 in the 40-yard dash, 43.5-inch vertical, and 11.2 broad jump. His athletic ability is off the chain good. This is a Washington defense that needs some help. They ranked 27th last year in yards allowed. He should improve the run defense. They're ranked 20th. Styles has shown versatility in training camp, lining up at both the Mike and Will linebacker spots at different times, according to Heavy. He's expected to be a mainstay in the nickel packages, where the Commanders often use two linebackers. That's also according to the site Heavy. I see him playing a big impact in helping improve the Washington defense in 2026, Brent.
Well said, Dave. Mr. Steve Retzer will wrap us up here with number 5.
Well, I didn't want to leave this guy off my list because I want him to be a Cleveland Brown. I got Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Titans. He has high-end route precision, exceptional contested catch ability, and a desperate need for a top-tier boundary target to pair with Cam Ward.
I'm going to push back a little bit. He's struggled a little bit so far to get separation, and I don't like the way Cam Ward looks right now, Steve. I don't know if you've got concerns there.
But he beat his boy last year.
Yeah, Cam Ward right now.
You don't want to talk about
I just don't
he
know
beat
about,
Shador.
Yeah, I don't know about
He was
Cam.
crickets after that game, weren't you, Steve? You didn't want to talk about that.
Shador played really well in that.
Shador had his best game.
Yeah,
that was actually his best game. Should have won without a man named Kevin Stefanski.
Well, just bottom line, do you have concerns about Ward being tied to Tate? And, are you a Ward fan with his future?
I do think that Ward is going to play better.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I think he's grown from his rookie season. This is just what he needs as a top receiver.
Okay.
And I do think he will get him the football. If you watch some highlight reels, things like that.
Okay.
Ward made some big plays last year. I still like Mendoza better than him, like I mentioned earlier, but I don't think Ward's a terrible quarterback. I think this is just what he needs.
No, I don't think he's a terrible quarterback either.
Okay.
Ward.
You think he makes a jump this year and gets better?
Yeah, I'm with him, but I don't. Let's be honest, though. None of these guys are going to be, they're not going to kill it, But from where he was at last year, yeah, I do see some improvement.
Okay.
But none of these guys are earth-shattering, Joe Burrow types,
right?
Josh Allen.
Well,
there will be some improvement.
My concern is the turnover where he plays, but he definitely needs a weapon on the outside.
Yeah, guys. Tate handles all three levels of the field, showing a smooth ability to separate against zone and win 50-50 balls on the perimeter. He's the player I wanted the Browns to draft, and I think he's going to be a good one in a few years to come for your Tennessee fight.
Well said, Steve. We'll get some final thoughts and get on out of here. Dave Greenshield, final thoughts.
Well, it was good I think in some ways we sorted out the Browns quarterback situation, Brent. I think we're going to find out a lot more this week.
Yeah.
I know that we're going to probably foreshadow our next cast because Monken is going to make the decision. We're going to get into that a lot, I'm sure, next week. We've got one more preseason game. And guess what, guys? The extravaganza is on the horizon.
Coming on up. Steve, final thoughts.
Well, boys, a lot of drama in that Browns-Bills game. I don't mean the game. I mean the after the interviews after the game, the post-game interviews, and that was some exciting things to talk about. And we will find out who our Browns quarterback will be. Fun talking about these rookies. I had a good time today, guys.
I'm going to make a prediction right now.
Yeah.
It will not be Shador Sanders, which is I want it to be so bad. It will be Deshaun Watson. I just got a feeling they're just going to be like, look, Grennan Barrett, who cares about
make the call from upstate?
Yeah, I kind of feel. Yes, that's where my head's at. Yes, it's gonna be like the code red. And you order the code red?
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen though. I don't.
Dude, I'm here for all. I'm here for all a few good men references. I'm a fan of it. But bottom line, I do think he goes with Watson. I don't see how he does. It's a matter of time, and I do think we see all three quarterbacks. We just do.
Yeah. Oh, you're officially saying you're like me. You think it'll be Watson?
Yeah. If I had to pick right now, I think he's
because we're gonna find out. I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think that there's tomorrow afternoon.
I think that there's a world where they don't feel Shador has just done enough, and you know what? I just think that to me, I just think Watson's been that bad that they have.
I don't agree with what you just said. I actually feel we're paying this guy. Get him in there. It's going to be one of those things. Shador's not ready. I feel like, think about it. It's like anybody that's made any kind of financial investment. hey, get to work. I'm still paying you. Yeah, I think it's more about that than it is. Oh, Shador's ready. Now, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Brent. Let's just face it. The Browns usually lose the opening game anyway. I think they've only won one or two since we returned back in the NFL. So maybe they will. Like you guys are saying, it could be Watson because you're probably going to lose anyway. And maybe Jimmy just wants to see what he has. Get a return on an investment. If he plays real bad, Shador can be in relief.
One more thought about it. They want a tank. That's still on the table as well. They don't want to win. They want a tank. So let's get.
I think he wants Arch Manning, but I don't know if.
Yeah. Well, so there's some of that thought too. Go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, just last on Arch Manning, I do want. I'm hoping to see Ohio State goes to Austin that second game.
Yeah.
Interesting game to watch.
I think he definitely improves. My thought on the Arch Manning though is, I hate to say it, I don't think he's going to be the guy.
Yeah, I want to see how he does it against top-notch competition this year. How much growth he shows in year number 2 in that Sark offense. We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Guys, have a good one. Take care.